If you've ever wanted to make loops and spirals, today I'm going to show you how to make those into a beautiful flower necklace. Hi, I'm Laura, and today I'm taking over the Jewel School YouTube channel, and we're going to show you how to make a beautiful blooming flower necklace. And I just love this. Flowers are so in style right now in jewelry, and so I took that concept and made a dangle necklace here with a flower, and we're going to add some cha-cha and some bling, and it's going to be awesome. Now let's go over the tools and supplies you're going to need for this project. You're going to need a flat nose plier, a chain nose plier, round nose pliers, 25 inches of chain, a toggle clasp of your choice, 4 3mm jump rings, this 20 gauge para-wire, I'm using silver, you're going to need 15 inches of it, about 12 to 15 head pins depending on how much cha-cha you want to add to yours, and some tiny beads that we're going to use to make the cha-cha necklace. So to start, we're going to actually start by making this flower first, the centerpiece of our necklace. To do that, we're going to need the wire that we've cut a 15-inch length of, and we're just going to kind of pull it apart. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but we just want to separate that out. I'm going to use my round nose pliers, and I've actually marked on here where I want the loops to be for later on in the necklace, and I'll show you that. But we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to start down here at the very end, and I want your wire to be flat. You're going to grip at the end, and I want it to be flat on your pliers. If you come sticking out like this beyond the pliers, it's going to not make a circle, and we want that to be a perfect circle. So just hold it in the end, and then we're going to loop around, and I'm going to show y'all what this looks like. And I'm kind of re-gripping. I'm getting a re-grip as I go until it meets that wire. So I'm going to show y'all what that looks like. Just a little loop on the end. Now I want you to take your flat nose, and this is actually, we're starting from the center of the flower and working out. So we're going to get a grip, and we're going to just start rolling our loop inside. And you're just resting it along that wire as you roll. You're going to need to let go of your pliers and re-grip every so often. And just keep rolling. And we want about 4 rolls on each side. And I'll explain to you what I mean by 4 rolls. So I'm going to get started going here. I don't know if you can see, like, so far from where my loop is, I have 1, 2, 3 on that side and 1, 2, 3 on this side. So I'm going to make 1 more on each side of that loop. So that's important, just to make sure you have the same amount of rolls on each side of your loop. So now that I have those, we're going to actually make this outside part of the flower now. We're going to come around with the loops. And that's why I've marked these. Normally I would use some Wubbers small mandrel pliers that would measure perfectly for me. But another way you can do that is with your round nose. Just mark with a permanent marker where you want that loop to be so it's consistent in size every time. And what we're going to do is we're going to grip right there where our mark is. I've already measured that. And I want you to roll around. You're going to have to loosen your grip and roll it around until you make your first loop, just like that. And then we're going to go right next to that, and we're going to do another roll. Just make sure you're gripping it where you made those marks on your pliers so that all our other loops are going to be the same size. We're going to go right next to that again and roll. And I'm going to show you what this starts to look like. You can see that some of them aren't right next to the others. So I'm just going to come right in, and I'm going to roll that one closer to it. And we don't have to worry too much about it being right next to that yet. We'll fix that at the end. So if you need to push this part out of your way, just push it down and keep gripping, and we're going to keep rolling around. So there, I've got 4. We're going to keep going. Now, I don't want to wander way far away from my piece. It's okay if you come out a little bit, but if you get too terribly far, it's going to be it's going to get really wonky and hard to fix later. So, like, here's one that's way far out. If you're starting to go like that, I want you to go ahead and bring it back in. Just kind of roll it back in so that we're not way far away from our piece at that point. And so make sure you straighten it up, kind of roll it out there. It makes it much easier when we're finishing the flower if you keep it near the actual piece. So we're going to keep rolling. I'm going to roll this one in because I've kind of come away from the piece. There we go. And I'm continuing to go around. Okay, so I've kind of come out from the side. I'm going to start pushing it in together, and you want to lift this center part above those as you push them together. So I'm going to do one more. I want to make sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to have the same amount on each side, and I'm going to make one more loop so that I can overlap with this one. So I'm actually going to make an extra one. And we are going to put that one back behind this loop because we're going to join those with a jump ring later on our flower. So I just want to round that up a little bit. And what I like to do is I like to grab both through the pliers and kind of straighten that out because that's how they're going to be joined. So that's the start of our flower. Now another tool that will come in handy is some cutters because you're going to need to cut your wire, your excess wire. So I'm just going to grab some cutters. Okay, so I'm going to take my cutters and just clip off my extra on the back side here. And you want to get a flush cut, so use that flat side of your plier and flush cut against your piece. Now you can take your chain nose and come in and gently close that, and you want to just twist it till it closes. You want that to touch that other piece of the wire. So I'm just going to wiggle that shut. And I've kind of shaped my flower up a little more from when we started. So now that these two loops are aligning perfectly. So now what we're going to do is I want you to take your round nose, and I'm just getting those next to each other. Now I want you to take your round nose and see how the center of our flower is coming out. I want you to take one side of your round nose and put it through that center hole that we made. And with your hands, you're going to hold right here and just push that piece, those pieces out with those round nose pliers. And there you've got some depth that makes your flower really pop. Now you're going to take 1 inch of your chain. We cut off 1 inch because that makes just about the right perfect dingle for that. And we're going to take 1 jump ring. We're going to take 2 pairs. I'm using my flat nose and my chain nose. And we're just going to wiggle that open. Never pull. We're going to wiggle it side to side. And I'm going to put it through both parts of the flower. Those 2 that we made match up there. And then I'm going to put the end of the chain in there. We're actually going to assemble the whole necklace and then add all of our bling and cha-cha to it. So I'm just twisting those until I hear a little click to have them shut. So there's that part. Now we want to attach our chain all together. So this is about 24 inches. You might want to have it shorter. It's up to you and your preference. But what we're going to do is take another jump ring and we're going to attach the toggle to it. So I'm going to open this up, put one at the bar end of my toggle, then attach it to my 1 chain end. Wiggle those shut. And then I'm going to get another jump ring and attach the other part of the toggle. Now what we're going to do is we want to attach this whole part to the round side of the toggle, not the bar side, but the round side. So you have 1 more jump ring, and you're just going to open that up and put it through the top of your chain and then around your toggle and twist that shut. Now we're ready to put some pizzazz on this necklace and make it really pop with some color. And I like to choose some nice soft fall colors. So you can just kind of get an idea of what you want. You can kind of lay them out and go, okay, that would look nice there. I like to kind of get an idea of what I want it to look like. I put a little butterfly in there for some extra flower fun. I kind of like that one up at the top because it brings some balance. So just kind of get an idea. We're actually going to go back and add a bunch of these littler ones, but I like to kind of make sure I have some things spaced out. You don't have to plan the whole thing. Like I have these little fillers we'll do. So what I'm going to do is when I kind of have an idea, you know what, I think I want my butterfly on the other side of this big one just to bring a little more balance to it. So I'm going to take one of these head pins, and I know I'm going to use all these, so I'm going to put my bead on there. I'm going to move this out of the way so y'all can see. And then we're just going to give the pin a little bend, a 90-degree bend with our flat nose right next to that bead there. And we'll take our round nose, just grip right there, pull around the round nose. I like a smaller loop since we're working with some smaller beads. So the more towards the tip will give you a smaller loop. And then we don't have to wrap these. These can open and shut because this is a delicate necklace, so we don't have to have, these will hold just fine if they're wrapped like that. So we're going to snip off our extra. We're going to open up that loop that we just made. And I think I'll attach it. You can attach from the jump ring on down anywhere you want, but I'm going to actually put this one on that first jump ring up there, not the chain. Just kind of give me some more space. And I'm going to set these to the side so they don't get in my way, because now that I know where I want them, I'm just going to wiggle that one shut. And then we'll keep going. So I think this looks great. It's not too much and not too little, and it just adds the perfect little bit for our blooming flower necklace. And one thing I want to show you is if you'll come and bring your toggle just behind here and clasp it like this. This is a beautiful addition to your necklace, and you can put it around your neck and have that beautiful toggle up there too. And look at that beautiful, beautiful flower necklace. I hope you enjoyed making this necklace. Let's go back over the tools and supplies we used. We used round nose pliers, flat nose pliers, chain nose pliers, 20 gauge para wire silver color, 12 to 15 head pins, 25 inches of chain of your choice, a toggle clasp, an assortment of beads, and flush cutters. Thank you so much for letting me come today and take over this YouTube channel. I've had a blast. If you need anything in this show, please check the description below, and y'all have a great day. Bye.